Jefferson County Court of Law number 2 is back in session. Our next case is cause number 331990. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Ernest Peter Thomas. Mr. Thomas, is that your full name? Mr. Thomas, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Thomas, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Thomas, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Thomas?
All right.
That's good. Mr. Thomas, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Wright Kimbler. Attorney Kimbler, how are you doing?
Pretty good.
That's good. Well, the state is also represented by Attorney Lamar Johnson. Attorney Johnson, how are you doing?
William.
That's good. Mr. Thomas, I have before, Mr. Kimbler,
Yes, sir.
do you waive a record in Mr. Thomas's case?
We do.
Mr. Thomas, I have before me a document that has been filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. This document is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about February 14th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal mischief. Mr. Thomas, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Thomas, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Mr. Thomas, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Thomas, there are two, he didn't put it to me, he just put an X right there. Do y'all have the discovery certification?
What is it need to initial it?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. What's your initials?
okay, Mr. Thomas, I have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. You acknowledge that you recognize this document. On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials. The first set of initials, EPT, are on the line that's next to a box that's checked guilty. Mr. Thomas, did you place your initials on this document? And the next set of initials is below a paragraph that is titled Discovery Admonishment, and it's on a line next to a statement that reads, I do not request discovery of the evidence. I waive my right to request discovery in this case and choose to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Mr. Thomas, did you place your initials on this line?
Yes, sir.
On the next document, Mr. Thomas, or the next page of the same document, Mr. Thomas, he forgot to sign his last name on this one. He had his first name, he had Ernest. On the second one, he has Ernest Thomas.
That you can't even read the prosecutor. I don't know.
Yes, that's his signature, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you hold that butt down that you were saying, it erases what you signed. So that's probably what happened. That's probably what happened. Okay, I got it. Okay, now, Mr. Thomas, I have before me on State's Exhibit number 1 on page 3. Is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant? And Mr. Thomas, on the next document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. At the bottom of this document, Mr. Thomas, there's also a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Thomas, is that your signature? There are 2 boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Thomas, before you sign and initial these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Mr. Kimbler, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Thomas, are you a citizen of the United States? State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor, state office state 1.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Kimbler, you have advised and counseled Mr. Thomas. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, no.
Mr. Thomas, your attorney, Mr. Kimbler, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Thomas, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange for defendant's plea of guilty in this case, the state is recommending confinement in Jefferson County Jail for a period of 90 days. And we're asking that the court suspend the imposition of that jail sentence, place the defendant on community supervision for a period of 12 months. Your Honor, requiring defendant to pay a $250 fine and also requiring defendant to pay $339 restitution to the Beaumont Police Department.
And then they're dismissing the felony case indicated on the paperwork over in drug court. 20 dash, whatever it is.
Also, are they you also dismissing cause? Is it this, no, it's running concurrent with felony.
No, they're dismissing the felony.
Okay, but in here it says this case is running concurrent with felony number 20 dash.
If the court would look at the
Yeah.
first page, it's indicated.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at the judgment.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's a mistake. I haven't been dismissed.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even know why that has to be in there. Because that's a felony, right. Normally when it's running concurrent, they put the number in there.
Yeah, it's not, it's not.
Right, we could take that, yeah, okay, so that's gonna be taken out. Now, let me ask you this. Is this case running concurrent with his next case?
He didn't have another case, does he?
Oh, I mean, not, oh, I'm thinking about, no, that's right, this is the only case. So we're just taking this out. So it's not running concurrent with, okay. Okay. Now, Mr. Johnson, could you repeat the state's offer again?
Sure, Your Honor. The state's offer is 90 days confinement in the Jefferson County Jail. We're asking that the court suspend the imposition of that jail sentence and placing defendant on community supervision for a period of 12 months, requiring defendant to pay a $250 fine and also requiring that the defendant pay $339 restitution to the Beaumont Police Department.
Okay. And also you waiving the court costs in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
No,
I mean, not court, you waiving a community service.
yes, Your Honor.
I just see waiving community service. Okay, now let me do this. Mr. Thomas, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $250. You'll also be required to pay court costs. In this case, now the total fine and court cost is $602. You will also be required to pay restitution of $339 to the Beaumont Police Department. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month or your analysis fee of $15 each month. Your total in monthly installments, that is the total amount that you would have to pay each month while you are on probation, is $165. Mr. Thomas, will you be able to pay the $165 each month? You will also be required, or you will not be required to perform any community service because that will be waived. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Mr. Thomas, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Thomas, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Thomas, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney, going to follow the directions of our clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. And Mr. Kimler, once you sign the probation paperwork, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that inquire the court as to the criteria for early termination. He was interested.
He can talk to his probation officer about that.
The court.
Or you can, that's why he has a lawyer. I can't give him any advice on that. Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you are. Court is in session and calls number 332-708, case of Style of State of Texas versus Jashania Ray Berry. Give me a setup of bond conditions. Okay, Mr. Berry, is that your full name?
Yes, just showing you right there, yes.
Jashania Ray Berry? Okay, how you doing, Mr. Berry?
I'm doing okay.
I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Berry, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. And let's see. Now, Mr. Berry, do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant
yes,
right here?
yes.
And are these your initials on the line stating that you want your case reset and you've hired Mr. Wright Kimler, who is standing to your left?
Yes,
He's hired me, Your Honor, I haven't, I'll do the notice of rep this afternoon.
Okay. So now, Mr. Gary, let's see. Look at the, I'm gonna have to give you some bond conditions. This is a violation of protected. His name? Oh, there it is. I had to look for it on file. Okay. Oh. Okay. Okay, Mr. Beard, I'm gonna give you some bond conditions. May have to give y'all. Why don't you go ahead and make a copy of that. What I'll do, he can go ahead and look at that. I'll just go over it with him. Now, Mr. Barrett, your attorney is handing your document that is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that
yes,
title? Okay, I'm going to standard conditions, which it says, following arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
yes,
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who, A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. And that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, Section A2 and Section C2. Do you understand that condition?
yes,
And the condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
yes,
And condition number 4 does not apply because that only applies in the DWI case. Your case is not a DWI case. Now, Mr. Berry, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, warrant could be issued for your arrest and you'll be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that?
yes,
Okay, now, Mr. Berry, your case is going to be reset. You're gonna stand on the X in front of our, on 4X in front of our court coordinator. You're gonna sign for it. And then your attorney, Mr. Kimler, is going to get the court a letter of representation. And then once he gets the letter of representation, then we're gonna send notices to you.
I'll need to sign them.
No, you don't need to, he has to sign because you're not, yeah, we don't have that letter of rep yet. All right. All right, y'all have a blessed day. Xavier Kane? This is cause number 332730, case of style of state of Texas versus Xavier Raquan Kane. Mr. Kane, is that your full name? Mr. Kane, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Kane, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Kane, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Kane? That's good. Mr. Kane, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? Mr. Kane, is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? And are these, is this an initial? That's an X. No, that's, yeah. Are these your initials on the line stating you wanted your case reset to hire your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kane, before you signed and initialed this document, did you read the document?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Kane, I read your response. You're gonna stand on the 4X in front of our court coordinator.
How do I see if I can, somebody to sign the affidavit?
Well, I can't give you no advice on that. But you can, this case is gonna be reset. You're gonna stand on the X in front of the, court coordinator. She's gonna reset your case. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Who I asked about?
I can't give you no information on that. Okay. Next. Lionel Coleman. This is cause number 332850. Case is style of state of Texas versus Lionel Coleman. Mr. Coleman, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
That door is locked, sir. You gotta go through the other door. Mr. Coleman, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Coleman, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Coleman, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Coleman? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Coleman, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line stating you want this case reset to hire your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Coleman, I've read your responses. Our court coordinator is going to reset your case. Once our court coordinator resets your case, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Stand on the 4X in front of the court coordinator. He does? I'll put both. The next page. Okay, put that number on there too. That's the other case, cause number 332670. Yeah, you have to put it on the affidavit of indigence too. I just had one number. Thank you. Court is in session in clause number 332812. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Christopher Lee Means. Mr. Means, is that your full name?
Correct.
How are you doing, Mr. Means? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Means. Would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Means, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You may put your hand down. Mr. Means, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on line saying you want to apply for court appointed counsel?
That's correct.
I also have a document here that is titled Affidavit of Independence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document. Not a page 3. He has a page missing. Yeah. Manita, okay. On page 2 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Means, before you signed it and initialed all of these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best you know? Now, I need a page 3 to this document. I don't see it in, unless it mixed in. Just give me one of those documents, just take page 3 off here. Have him to read it first. I mean, wait up. Yeah, have him to read it first. You got one? He can lower, even though he doesn't have to sign it, the court has to sign it. You read one?
Yes, sir. I think I wrote my name at the top.
Well, I wonder what happened to it. Okay, don't worry, I'm filling out another one. Now,
Thank you.
okay, now, Mr. Means. Again, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best you know?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Means, I read your answers in all of these documents. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Joel Vasquez. Our court coordinator is going to give you information on how to contact Mr. Vasquez. Mr. Vasquez will also be given information on how to contact you. You're going to stand in front of the X, on the far X in front of our court coordinator. She's going to reset your case. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. You're welcome.
The phone is 318.
Scarlett A. Drake or Scarlett Ann Drake?
Yes, sir.
For the record, is your name Scarlett A. Drake or Scarlett Ann Fowler?
That is not my name.
Okay,
That was my name that was in the jail before they pulled me up. My name is Scarlett Ann Drake. That's
Okay.
my legal name.
okay. How you doing, Ms. Drake?
I'm good.
Okay, Ms. Drake, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Drake, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Drake, I have two documents before me. The first document I have is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendant Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line? It's titled
Yes, sir.
Defendant? Are these your initials on the line stating you want to apply for court-appointed counsel?
Yes.
And the next document that I have is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Ms. Drake, is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, on this here document, you signed it as Scarlett Fowler. Is that
I'm
correct?
sorry. I do that sometimes.
Okay,
I do it sometimes. I'm sorry.
okay,
It's, I have seizures a lot and sometimes it just gets glitched up.
okay. So you want to just change the last name?
Sir?
You want to change it from,
Yes, sir, I can. I'm sorry about that. No. I fixed it and initialed it. SD.
Okay. okay, now, Ms. Drake,
Yes,
do you now, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
yes,
And did you understand what you read?
yes,
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Drake, I've read your answers in the affidavit of indigence. You meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. The attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Kyle Walker. Attorney Walker is going to be given information on how to contact you. You will also be given information on how to contact him. Our court coordinator is going to reset your case. So stand on the 4X in front of our court coordinator. She's going to reset your case. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Okay.
All right, stand over there.